Hey guys, I love it when an episode gives me buzz. I say yeah. Tonight was a good episode, a long one as well, so tonight's review is going to be a little long, but hey guys, I forgot to say hi. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing okay and everyone is doing well. Another day, another cheeky Love Island review. So as I usually always say, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. We love having you here, and we also love a cheeky little chinwag. Also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also my Twitter at @SoDestinyX. And number three, get cozy and comfy. I don't know why I'm doing so much today, but yeah. Get cozy and comfy with a nice snack, nice drink, some water, a fan, and let's get into today's review. So guys, let's start off with Tony talking to Lauren about being in a very weird position. I can't lie, guys. You guys know. Should I say it? Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Tony low-key, you know what I'm saying? Like, she low-key redeemed herself in today's episode, okay? Because the way she was whacking Harrison towards the end, I said, yeah, give it to him, gasp force, one more time. But they're, of course, having a conversation, and she said that, oh, you know, like, she just kind of feels like she's in a very difficult situation because obviously the tea was spilled regarding what Harrison and Lauren did. Even when Lauren after went to go and speak with Meg, Meg was like, obviously, you know, like, Tony is a lovely girl at heart, but, you know, obviously she's iconic. I was just thinking, since when did you start speaking about Tony like that? Like, as far as I'm concerned, the friendships of the girls in that villa is left and right. But anyway, of course, do I want to speak about anything else with that? No, because they end up having another conversation later, and I think we delve into that a bit more because Harrison's singlet definitely needs to be torn. That guy is so unserious. People are saying, oh, he's the newest member of Destiny Childish. I actually feel like he's exceeded all of them because that guy is genuinely so confused, and unfortunately for him, his confusion is being broadcasted in 4K on live TV. 1 minute you want one babe, the next minute you want another babe. And this is just a small thing out there as well. As a girl, if you're dealing with a guy like that, you need to generally run because that guy doesn't care about your soul. Okay? He doesn't care about your heart. He doesn't care about your soul. You do not want to engage with someone like that who thinks that they can play literally tennis when it comes to your heart and your feelings. And unfortunately for Harrison, this is literally being broadcasted in 4K at 9 p.m. every single night. So he's very unserious. And Harrison needs to go where? As our good sis Nicole says, in the bin with his singlet torn. Thank you very much. Now, of course, Yaz and Jamie came back from their date. Guys, I'm not going to hold you. I said it in yesterday's review. I'm going to say it again. My winners, yeah. Yaz and Jamie are actually my winners. I've called it. I've said it. I do think they actually are really cute together. And they were, of course, debriefing the rest of the villa about the date and how much they had such a good time. But I do really like them together. And I really hope the producers, especially leading up to the finale, because there's only 2 more weeks left. Gasp. Wow, it's gone by so quick, right? But yeah, because there's only 2 weeks left, I would really love to see more scenes of them and their relationship developing. Now, moving on to the nighttime, Harrison and Cash had a brief conversation, and of course, Harrison ended up apologizing to Cash. Cash is really that guy, guys. I really like that guy. I've liked all of the Casa Amor guys that have entered into the main villa anyway. But Cash was just like, listen, when you were speaking, when you were acting the way you were acting, all I just thought of was like, you know, ill first and foremost, but all I could think about was like, if my little sister was in that position, does she deserve to be treated like that? Bro, you need to do better. You can't treat women like that. I said yes. And unfortunately, this is who Tony left for Harrison. So I have to tug her singlet again because honestly, she missed out on a great guy. I feel like Cash was a great guy, very respectful. And yeah, as you said, imagine your sister in that situation. How would you feel? Harrison's like, oh yeah, bro, like, don't worry, bro. Yeah, I did it. That guy is so confused, guys. He's actually so confused. And the thing with confusion is, if you were confused in silence, I think I would understand. You are confused so loudly whilst other people's emotions are involved. Hey, that's very scary. Very, very, very scary. Next, moving on to Emma and Boris. Guys, I'm not going to hold you. I really don't have much to say about them. I didn't get anything from neither of them, but they were, of course, flirting. I think, did I write a note or something? What did I say even? All I wrote was that they agreed to sleep in a hideaway together. And he was saying, oh, you know, I didn't feel as bad with Billy because yeah. You've said it 101 times. It's whatever. It's fine. But I don't care for Emma and Boris as a couple. If you do, let me know down below. But for me, it ain't changed over here. Billy Kiss now as well. She was talking to Shakira about the way Boris switched up on her. By the way, Billy Kiss was looking so good in that denim on denim. I said, wow, a babe. Who they need to bring someone in for? Because what do you mean that fine girl was single in that villa? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? But of course, she was saying that she finds it so interesting how Boris really switched up on her. But I can just see it. I'm calling it that him and Ella, him and Emma won't last. And she called it, and that's the truth. They're not going to last, because there's no way you see Emma and Boris lasting, guys. They even had an argument the following day. I know you don't see them lasting. I really don't. Of course, next moving on to Lauren pulled Harrison for a chat, and she pretty much said everything that Tony has spoken to her about earlier in the episode, about how she didn't deserve to be treated like that. And honestly, you guys already know, I do already have my opinions with her sleeping with him twice, okay, because it was a choice, twice. But at the same time, yes, like, she didn't deserve to be treated like that. And I think it just goes to show once again how terrible, okay, how terrible Harrison has been acting, because honestly, you shouldn't be playing around with females' emotions like that. It is very, very, very scary, and we don't tolerate that behavior on this channel, or even off this channel, okay? So I am glad that Lauren was able to say, I didn't deserve to be treated like that, because yeah, for real, I didn't. Even if it was my choice to do what I did with you, that doesn't mean you should mug me off the next day. Like, that's really disgusting behavior, Harrison. So we're going to call it as it is. At night time, not much to discuss. Once again, Boris and Emma and Hideway, full stop, no more notes, okay? Dejon and Meg, guys, I don't know what was taking place in that, yeah, but the camera zoomed in on the leg, and I hate when the cameraman does that, okay? I hate when the cameramen do that, because why are you zooming in on the leg? But yeah, I don't know. Guys, generally, I can't confirm, neither can I deny. This is all alleged. Next, moving on to, I guess, the following morning, Billy Kiss was saying that she doesn't care about them, respectfully. And the girls are also saying that, of course, Emma and Billy Kiss aren't friends in the villa, so Emma low-key doesn't owe her any loyalty, and that Billy Kiss should just forget about it. But yeah, pretty much, she said that she really doesn't want to see them together. It makes me wonder, did Billy Kiss really, really, really like Boris? Or does she just feel like, yeah, you're just muggy, like, you're actually muggy? But I didn't really say it, guys. I didn't actually see Billy Kiss and Boris lasting. I thought they were cute together because we were able to get screen time with Billy Kiss. But that was literally it. Like, I never saw that lasting. People are like, oh my gosh, I'm shipping them. I don't know why, guys. That ship has very much, yeah, it sailed off and it also sunk, okay? I didn't see them lasting. I just thought it was nice that she was with someone who, Billy Ma, as he called her, who actually showed that he was interested in her, even if it was for 24 hours. But I never saw that lasting anyway. Next, moving on to, where am I? Harry. Yeah, let's talk about this quickly. Harry and Emma going for a chat. Yeah. First things first, before that chat even took place, I forgot who Boris was talking to, but he was like, brother, do you know how to make a tea? You know, the one with the milk. I was thinking, bro, an English tea? The simplest drink to make on this planet, okay? But of course, Emma and Harry were now having a conversation. Now, in this moment, guys, I'm not going to hold you. I didn't understand Emma's game plan, okay? I'm just gonna hold you there. But at the same time, I like that Helena is rattled. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not a bad person. You guys know I'm not a bad person, okay? This is all for banter. This is all for vibes. But obviously, Emma was talking to Harry, and she was saying, like, at the end of the day, because Harry asked her, you know, how's the Hideway? And she was like, yeah, the Hideway was fine. Then Harry was just like, yeah, like, you know, how are you? And she was just like, oh, I'm not going to say it. And he was like, just say it, It's just us two. We've got 2 weeks left till the season ends. Just talking all of this, right? And Emma said, all right, fine. Oh, no, I'm not going to say it. But yeah, obviously, like, yeah, I do still like you. And I know that. And I was just thinking, hey, this is a complete 180 from the discussions that you had when you first joined this season. You literally said you didn't come in here for Harry. So I don't know if she's actually doing this because she cares or she's just doing this for the plot. Guys, I need you guys to let me know in the comments what you think. I genuinely don't know what Emma's game plan is. But she was saying, obviously, that they have chemistry. Obviously they do because they dated for 3 years. He was saying as well that he still loves her. And then they started talking about rekindling. Guys, the conversation was going by so quickly. So quickly at that. I was just thinking, I genuinely don't know her game plan. I'm not going to hold you. I really don't know their game plan. As they were talking as well, Helena was just like, what's going on over there? I'm not having that. Like, why are they talking for so long? Are they giggling? Why is he looking into her eyes? All of that whilst you're still sitting down. You're still seated. I said sit down. Whilst you are still seated. I'm starting to get really bothered. Okay, but you're still sat. I'm really starting to get angry here. I'm shaking. But you're still sad. Babe, I can't take that girl seriously, guys. I haven't taken her seriously since the season started. And if there's one thing that I'm consistent with, is my views on this channel. My views regarding Helena hasn't changed since episode 1. And that actually makes me laugh because we're definitely like 39 episodes in or something like that. But anyway, cool. Harry was now talking to the guys about the conversation that he also had with Emma. And essentially, Dejon and Harrison was just like, what? Like, do you still really like her? And he was just like, yeah, like, obviously. She spoke about Rekindling. I'm going to be honest with you as well. I feel like Harry, and I think I said this in yesterday's review, Harry likes the chase, okay? He's generally bored of Helena because Helena she's just there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can do whatever I want and this baby's still gonna take me back, and the most she's gonna say is this another boundary we need to add to our list. So I feel like Harry likes the attention that he's getting from Emma because he doesn't really know if he can really get her back, but it's a chase. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't have to chase for Helena, and that says a lot about his character, by the way. Okay, I don't know if I'm not saying that I'm condoning that behavior, but it also does say a lot about his character. Now, Emma and I ended up calling Helena for a chat. And this was quite interesting because they had a conversation, right? And Emma essentially said, yeah, like, I am open to getting to know him. And then Helena started saying some weird things like, I just don't really understand that. What is your agenda here? You don't want him one day, one day, like, I'm just so confused by your behavior. I think Helena even said something like, I think Helena asked her, have you always seen you guys getting back together? I'm just not having that. Like, you're like, this is just not on. Like, I'm just so confused. Like, what do you want? And then Emma essentially started saying as well, like, generally speaking, you guys aren't going to work on the outside. Whoa, that's out of order. That's out of order for you to say something like that. That's what us to decide. I just felt like, rah. There's no way Helena actually thinks that her and Harry are, like, you know what I mean? Like, locked in, because there's just no way. I don't think she's that delusional to think that, but then her behavior and her actions have shown me that maybe she is just as delusional to think that. And that's very concerning. Okay? Very concerning. Of course, Helena and I walked off and Sis was swinging her water. Guys, I don't even have a water bottle to show you. Sis was swinging her water bottle like this. And like I said, guys, I'm not a bad person, but I actually feel like I enjoy seeing Helena rattled because she's done the same thing to other people in that villa. That's just the reality of it. What goes around comes around. The game on what is the game. You have to wake up, you have to smell the coffee. And I just feel like with Helena, she's gotten away with so much in the past that now that someone is finally doing her, who possibly has a chance because they've actually already dated, I think it is rattling her differently. Of course, she ended up going to speak to Harry, and she was like, I'm angry. She was like, I'm literally shaking. Oh gosh, I need to stop. Guys, I'm literally not a bully, I promise you. I'm not a bully. I'm really not a bully. These are just reviews, okay? It's just how I feel in my head. But she was just like, I'm literally shaking. She was like, what's that? What was that conversation about? Harry now, Harry was lying in 4K. Helena was like, yeah, so she obviously just put me for a chat and she was telling me that apparently you guys want to get to know each other. And Harry was like, what? Like, no, I'll never go back. I'll never do it. But you literally said you were open to rekindling with her, even when you spoke to your guys. How are you lying like that in 4K? And then Helena was just like, I don't want you talking to her. And then he even said, oh, is that another boundary? She said, yeah, that's another boundary you have to add to our list. Are you not embarrassed at the fact that you guys add boundaries every 2 seconds? Every episode, you know there's a new boundary that they've added to their little list. What's not clicking? Because Harry was even the one that pulled Emma for a chat. What's not clicking for Helena? Guys, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to hold you. Because even Harry was just like, obviously she wants me, but I don't want her. But that's a lie. What do I say? I always say this in every single review. Not every single review, but every season that we review this show. You should always fear men. Yeah. You have to fear them somehow because Harry literally lied in 4K. In 4K. And we saw that live as well. Interesting. Anything else I want to say from that? Oh yeah. Helena called Emma a fish cake. I don't even know why I wrote that down, but is that all you got? She said, oh, I'm just so annoyed. Like she's literally just, she's just a fish cake. What? Let me stop. I need to move on. Next, moving on to Boris and Emma having a brief chat. He was very annoyed at the fact that she ended up going to speak with Harry, and Boris was actually making me laugh here because he was just like, so why are you here? Why are you here? Is it Harry that you want? Because I'm not going to be in a triangle. But no, fair enough, because but then what was so funny was it was literally giving gasp because Emma also said to him as well, like, oh, you're talking about not being in a triangle, but you had me and Billy kissing a triangle. And then that's when he went, Oh, not you quiet, Baris. I thought you were just talking, babe. But it was literally giving bass. I found that absolutely hilarious. Next, we know that they ended up getting a text that tonight there was going to be a rodeo-themed party and that the islanders needed to get ready. I feel like they actually all looked quite cute. It was literally giving cowboy color, you know what I'm saying? Before the party actually took place, and that cheeky challenge was... blessing our screens, we know that Lauren was helping Harrison floss his teeth. Now, I have words. Harrison, genuinely, can I be honest? I'm not here to shade people who are a certain age, but Harrison proved to me today that he was 22 years old. It's not even today. He's proved it in previous episodes as well, but you know how a girl feels about you. You know the situation at hand, especially with both of the girls, and you're allowing that babe to help you floss. You don't have to floss. Even if you don't know how to floss, you can't. It's not even if, because everyone knows what, even if you don't floss, you will learn how to floss because everyone knows what floss is for and everyone knows what floss should be used for, okay? So him getting Lauren to floss his teeth absolutely makes no sense, considering even Lauren as well, doing it smiling. No, okay? That guy literally disrespected you to your face. There's no need for us to be having any conversations whatsoever. Of course now, I think Shakira was the one that walked past. Was it Shakira? Yeah, Shakira walked in and told Tony, and Tony was like, I'm not having this anymore, I'm not having this anymore. So she now goes to confront Harrison like, stop it, you're literally making me look stupid, you're making me look so dumb, I'm just over it. She started crying. I was screaming though because Helena and Harry were just standing there like it was EastEnders. Literally, they were just standing there watching the entire conversation. But she was just like, I'm done with it, I can't with you, you're making me look so dumb, like what do you want? Do you want her? Guys, what did Harrison open his mouth to say? Oh, I think I want Lauren. Cut the cameras. Cut the cameras. Cut the cameras. Like, what do you think this is? Who do you think you are, first and foremost? And what do you think this is? Just going back and forth and back and forth and forth and back and forth and back. Are you not embarrassed? Tony is literally there crying. And she was like, I'm not having it. And even as she was crying and saying, I said, please, yes, don't have it. Please don't have it with this guy because Tony, wow, you used to be the babe that stood on business. Why have you allowed this guy to twang your head? Please. Even with the news that was revealed to you, you still allowed this guy to twang your head. As you're saying this, must stand on the busy. Of course now, after that, she went to talk to Yaz and Shakira, who pretty much said, yeah, that babe, like, we've been trying to tell you this. You don't deserve that guy. So yeah, you definitely need to move on. Literally let it go type of situation. Now after that, she now went into the changing room and she essentially said like, yeah, he wants you now, girl, he's all yours, essentially. Now when that happened as well, Meg was asking Emma about Harry, and then Emma was saying, I've always seen us getting, I don't know if she's actually playing games, guys. I feel like she's actually playing with our heads because there's no way she can do a 180 like this. There's actually none. But she was saying, yeah, I've always felt like me and Harry would get together from day one. And literally, that's always happened out. And then Helena walked in and she was just like, didn't you say it's not going to work? Emma literally, guys, the silence in that room, she literally aired her. And then even Meg was just like, oh, so what? I'm just talking to myself then? Okay, you twat. And I was just thinking, how did we get from A to B? Like... because even Emma was just like, I'm not going to keep responding to you now. And you're still asking me questions. You're still asking me questions. But Emma, once again, you too, babe, I need to know your game plan. Because right now, it's not adding up. But you're rattling two girls in the villa that I'm not really fond of. So keep going, babes. Okay. Now, next moving on to just before the challenge took place. This is actually going to be quite a long review. Wow. Just before the challenge took place, Tony was pulling Harrison and Lauren for a chat to pretty much figure out what are you doing. And he was just like, you know, I've said sorry, I said this, I said that. And then Tony was just like, no, you said sorry and you haven't taken accountability because your actions are proven to be completely different to the things that you are saying. Harrison once again was there standing and he was essentially just like, oh, at the end of the day, I really just want to ensure that this situation works, and I'm just trying my best to respect both parties and everything like that. And then what was so weird was even after that, Tony was making it very clear and well known to him that, listen, I will never bring you home to my parents. You are not someone that I would like to represent me in a relationship. You are very muggy. You are very insincere. You only think about, she was going in, out. I said, Tony, I think you're back. Yeah. I think you're back, honey. Because this is the Tony we expected. We expected you to rip his single like this, even prior to you even recoupling with him. When he spoke to you on that terrace, you should have told him to, when on a song, which means close your lips. Yeah, you should have told him to close your lips, because you coming to me, and even with that as well, once again, she just shouldn't have picked him for the recoupling, guys. That's just it. It boils down to that. Whether she knew the news that happened with him and Lauren or not, she shouldn't have picked that man. But this is the Tony that I remember, and I'm very glad that she ripped his singlet, because even Harrison was just looking there like, oh, dude, yeah, look like that, please, because you're confused and you're bringing other girls into your confusion, and that is not okay. If you're confused, you sit in the corner and you figure out your thoughts for yourself, okay? You don't bring different girls into the drama whilst you're still trying to figure yourself out. That's very unfair, and that's not how it works. Now, of course, we know they ended up getting a text that it's time for the public to see how they rate them as couples. Did you guys vote? Because I voted, and it was very nice to see that today the UK public did their thing. Okay, let's try and do it for the next election, guys. Okay, cool. So as you guys know, the first question was which couple is the hottest. They ended up voting for Yaz and Jamie as number 1, Boris and Billy Kiss as number 2, and Lauren and Ty as number 3. Meg asked, are there any objections? There weren't any objections. So the results were in, and third place was actually Shakira and Connor, second place Billy Kiss and Boris, and first Yaz and Jamie. So they did okay with that question. The next question was which couple rely on physical attraction the most. They voted for first Billy Kiss and Boris, second Tony and Harrison, and third Lauren and Ty. But the results were in, and Shakira and Connor were third place, Tony and Harrison were second, and Helena and Harry were first. Emma was overly screwing, so it makes me wonder, does she actually really want Harry back? She was overly screwing them whilst they were on that podium. I need to figure out Sis's game plan, for real, for real. Cool. Next question was, which couple is the most one-sided? And what made me laugh was Billy Kiss instantly said, okay, well, I just want to let everyone know, I think it's you. She said, y'all gonna hear me today, okay? I've been observing you guys even before I came in as a bombshell, and I'm gonna let you know what I think. Of course, the results were in, and it ended up being third place, Helena and Harry. Second place, Tony and Harrison, and even Tony said, I agree with the public, and she walked off. And first place was Meg and Dejon. Oh, I said, oh. And he obviously gave a little speech, and he said that he thinks it's been down to his actions, which was quite interesting. Now, even prior to us getting to the next question, Harrison was saying that he thinks Connor and Shakira should be up there because, oh, when I spoke to Shakira, she said that she's more attracted to Harry, and Shakira was just like, whoa, like, what exactly is going on? Yeah, of course I'm going to be attracted to him because I was in a couple with him longer than I have been with Connor, but that isn't the question. Like, that's not what we're speaking about here. And I didn't really understand that, because Harrison and Shakira say that they're besties in the villa, but is the game really the time for you to be speaking about things that I've told you in private? And even Shakira was laughing, and then she looked at Connor and was like, oh, I guess we're not laughing, because Connor was giving serious straight face. And even in the confessional, Shakira said the same thing, like, I don't understand why people can't just leave me to be happy. And yeah, it's true. So I don't really understand what Harrison was trying to get by throwing digs at her there. I ain't gonna hold you. Next question, of course, was which couple lacks emotional depth? And Cash made me laugh because he didn't even wait for anyone to finish saying their opinion. He literally got up and went straight to the podium. But the public voted for third place Billy Kiss and Boris, second place Meg and Dejon, and first place Helena and Harry. Good results, good results. To be honest, yeah, like, because if you know what emotional depth means, which I mean in this today's episode as well, that a lot of them don't actually know what words mean, and that's not even shade, because I'm sure there's some words that I don't even know the answers to. But literally, I think even Meg was just like, I'm literally the most emotional person here. That wasn't the question, babe. Okay, which couple lacks but emotional depth is a completely different situ. And even Helena and Harry, you know, Harry was just like, I feel really hard done by. Nah, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. Okay, the results are in. So are you going to go to everyone's house in the UK and beat them? I don't think so, babes. Next question was, which couple do you think is coasting? Once again, no one knew what coasting meant. Okay, they were all giving their different explanations here and there, but the results were in, and third place was Yaz and Jamie, second place Billy Kiss and Boris, and first place once again Meg and Dejon. Once again, they were giving their little speech, smiling through the pain, saying, yeah, in the beginning, you know, it was a bit this, but yeah, we're stronger now, we're this, we're that, blah, blah, blah. Wrap it up. Cool. Next question was, which couple is playing the biggest game? I won't lie, guys, Emma was on their necks. Like, she literally said, I think you, and you. And they were like, oh, why do you feel that? It was just like, listen, I just know that it's all three of you. Tell me why all the people that Emma suggested ended up being on the podium. I said, oh. So in third place, we had Helena and Harry. Second place, we had Tony and Harrison, and then first movie you had Meg and Dejon. And obviously Harry was saying, you know, I don't agree with you, like I'm just not happy with that. And Dejon was like, why all three of us here? Like, at the end of the day, in the beginning, yeah, I was playing a game, but now everyone can see that I'm about my Meg. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone knows that I'm down for my Meg. And Emma said, it's not even the girls that I'm talking about, it's all three of you. We've literally watched you. You guys are very unserious candidates. Essentially, you guys deserve to be up there because you guys are playing the biggest game. And even after that, Emma went to speak to Dee, and she was just like, Dee, like, honestly, even just, this is what I mean, like, Emma was literally on their necks, because even after that whole ordeal, she now speaks to Dee, and she's like, Dee, I also just want to say, she said, furthermore, I want to let you know as well that I just feel like your speeches are just so disingenuous. Like, honestly, like, when you speak, and he was just like, oh, that's me, that's all I can be. And then Harry was like, oh, Dee, you've got to change your speeches now. You guys are sad that Emma clocked you, because let's be honest, out of all the guys in the villa, those three have actually been the most unserious. Am I going to throw Connor in there? I will throw Connor in there just because the way he's jumped ships from different girls has been very scary. But yeah, those guys over there, you guys definitely deserve to be on that podium. Anyway, we ended up getting a small glimpse into tomorrow's night, and we were told that the game isn't over. And then there was a silhouette of a girl walking in. I initially thought that was Maya Jama. I don't actually know. Maybe I should go back and watch it to confirm. But I think it's given a new bombshell, even in our family group chat. Let me double check to see if they mentioned it. It is a bombshell. Okay. So it is actually a bombshell, which is very interesting. I wonder who. But there's 2 weeks left, and you guys know how I feel about bombshells coming in so close to the finale. Is there really a point? But then again, in this season, I think there is, because there generally is no solid couple in that villa. Please don't talk about Meg and Dejon being exclusive. I don't see that as being very serious. I see Yaz and Jamie being serious-ish, but I don't see anyone else being serious. So maybe there is a reason why the bombshell's coming in. Who knows? But we're going to dissect it tomorrow anyway. But yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on tonight's episode. It was a long one, an hour 20, I believe. So this review was a bit long, but I hope you stay to the end. If you do, I rock with you. As always, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Also, be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. But other than that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow's going to be our final review of the week, period. But yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely night, morning, afternoon, whenever you're watching this video. Please take care, stay blessed, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.